Hello and welcome. On Wednesdays in Lent, we're going to be taking a look at some Lent and Easter hymns, which you may have sung hundreds of times over the years. Many of you will know the words to these hymns inside out, or maybe they will be new to you. Hopefully taking a closer look at these beautiful words, especially when we cannot sing in church right now, will help keep our knowledge and love of God alive. Here's today's hymn. So we're starting with a very famous Lent hymn, which is often sung in Holy Week and on Good Friday. My song is Love Unknown. The lyrics were written in 1663 by Samuel Crossman, but the tune that most of us know wasn't written until 1925. John Ireland, the composer, is said to have scribbled it on the back of a menu during lunch with a friend. This is a hymn I love to sing and to use in worship. It draws the singers in because it tells a story. But more than that, this hymn takes us on a journey of discovery about God. The hymn is summed up in its opening line, "My song is love unknown." This is a song about love. And the Bible teaches that God is love. This is a theme that can be found all the way through it. In Exodus 34:6, God is described as this: a God merciful and gracious, abounding in steadfast love. In the Psalms, God is described as a God of steadfast love, a love which is compassionate, forgiving and just. In the New Testament, we are told explicitly, God is love. That's 1 John 4 verse 8. Yet there's also a strong tradition throughout the Bible that God is unseen, invisible and unknowable. People see signs of his presence, a burning bush, a pillar of fire or an angel, but they fear that seeing or even drawing near to God will cause them to die. God is love. The Bible is sure of that. But God is also unseen and invisible. God is, you might say, love unknown. This is the starting point of our hymn. Then the hymn tells a story that we are familiar with. This is the story of Jesus, who came from his blessed throne salvation to bestow. Jesus' saving work is for the whole world, but it's also for the benefit of the individual. Oh, who am I that for my sake, the hymn asks. It tells a story of Jesus' rejection by the crowds, even by those who'd seen his healing miracles, and his acceptance of suffering and death to save others, even his enemies. There is no resurrection mentioned in this hymn. But I think the writer does this on purpose, not to distract us, to keep us thinking about Jesus' life and death and the ways that they reveal God's love. God's love is unseen, invisible, love unknown. But here in Jesus, God's love suddenly has legs, a physical body with hands stretched out to heal the sick and the lame and the blind. A body capable of laughter, weariness and pain. Suddenly, the unseen and unknown love of God is here among us, active, and we have to respond to it. It causes rage and spite in some of us. It prompts generosity and praise in some of us. It confuses some of us, singing hosannas 1 minute and shouting crucify the next. The love of God, present and active in Jesus, invites a response one way or the other. In the story of Jesus, God Almighty, love unknown, becomes visible by us, lovable by us. Now we can see the bright, transforming love of God, which makes everything new. Because of Jesus, we are set free. There is nothing we need be afraid of, even death, because Jesus has been there before us. God has done a new thing. He set us free from fear. Because of Jesus, we are forgiven. There is nothing we need hide any longer, for all our mistakes are washed away. God has done a new thing. He's flung open the doors to welcome us home. Because of Jesus, we know we are loved. There is no greater love than this, that Jesus died for love of his friends. God has done a new thing. He's made us worth more than we could ever imagine. There are many ways of expressing love, but for friends of Jesus, love is not optional. Our challenge, our calling, is to recognise God's extravagant love in Jesus. And this is not a once-in-a-lifetime thing. This is not even a once-a-week on Sunday mornings thing. This is my friend in whose sweet praise I all my days will gladly spend. Gazing on the love of God is an invitation for any time, for all time. See it. Let ourselves be changed by it and reflect it back out into the world around us. That is our challenge. There's a story of a Christian on retreat who said they heard God speak. "Tell me something true, something real, something I can treasure and remember," she begged God. And God said, "I love you. I love you. I love you." And she said, "Is that all? Tell me something else." And God said, "Believe it." When you look at God in the story of Jesus, what do you see? And when God looks at you, what does God see? The love of God is no longer unknown. In Jesus, God's love can be seen and known and loved. And as we sing and reflect on this hymn, it becomes real and visible to us in our lives too. Love is shown to the loveless, that we too might be lovely and bringers of love. My song is Love Unknown, begins the hymn. A tricky place to start. But it ends confident, delighting in the story of Jesus, looking forward to a lifetime of discovery about God. This is no longer love unknown. This is Jesus, love known, seen, loving and loved.